buried deep in myths, legends, and some say real history, are stories of beings so massive they shook the earth with every step. From the Old Testament to Native American folklore, the hidden history of giants has captivated human imagination for centuries. But what if these were more than just stories? What if they were real? Have we been lied to about the reality of giants? Have they been consigned to bedtime stories just to throw us off the trail? Is Jack and the Beanstalk and other fairy tales just a way to take giants out of reality and into the land of myths and legends so that they can be dismissed out of hand? We'll look at giants in ancient texts, the physical evidence, modern tales, and more. So get ready as we dive into the canceled history of giants, and stick around until the end to hear our controversial conclusion. Giants in ancient texts. Nearly every ancient culture tells tales of giants. The Bible mentions the Nephilim, Anakim, and Zamzummim, men of huge stature, standing up to 15 feet tall. Genesis 6:4 says, "There were giants in the earth in those days." From Og, king of Bashan, to Goliath, the famous opponent of the young David, the Bible has many stories to tell of giant and fearsome men that often withstood the people of God. Even the Promised Land proved to be inhabited by these monstrous humans, as the spies returned to Joshua, saying that they were like grasshoppers compared to the massive residents they witnessed on their mission. The Sumerians spoke of the Anunnaki, godlike beings who came from the heavens. Some scholars speculate, were these ancient gods actually giants? Human nature elevates the large and powerful, and perhaps the ancient Sumerians, witnessing huge men descending to them from the mountains, where giants are often said to inhabit, took them as objects of worship. The ancient Greeks also told stories of giants, describing them as flesh and blood creatures who lived and died. Greek historian Solinus recorded around AD 200 that the bones of the giants would be exposed during times of flooding. Physical evidence. Over the past 2 centuries, reports have emerged of giant human skeletons being unearthed, some allegedly over 10 feet tall. In the late 1800s and early 1900s, American newspapers published dozens of stories about such discoveries, especially in the Ohio and Mississippi River valleys. These skeletons often had 6 fingers and 6 toes, corresponding with biblical descriptions of giants. An article from Springfield, Ohio in the 1900s speaks of a giant skeleton being unearthed. A giant skeleton of a man has been unearthed on the Wolverton Farm, a short distance from Tippecanoe City. It measures 8 feet from the top of the leg to the ankles, the feet being missing. The skull is large enough to fit as a helmet over the average man's head. This skeleton was one of 7 found, buried in a circle, their feet being pointed toward the center. Crude implements were near. The skeletons are thought to be those of mound builders. The Evening Star in Mississippi reported as late as 1931 that giant Indian skeletons had been found, a day when giant redskins, taller by a head than modern Indians, roamed Midwestern plains and followed their chieftain even into the grave, is conjured up by recent discoveries along a bluff of the Mississippi River near here. 9 skeletons, believed by their discoverer to be those of Indians 7 to 8 feet tall, were unearthed by workmen. Some even claim these bones were quietly taken by institutions like the Smithsonian, never to be seen again. Is it just folklore? Or is there a deliberate effort to erase part of human history? Newspaper articles can be disputed, but not so much physical evidence captured on camera, or even more concretely, sitting in museums. In the late 1950s, during road construction in the Euphrates Valley of southeastern Turkey, workers uncovered fossilized human remains. At the site, an engineer measured a femur, the long bone of the leg, and recorded its length as 120 centimeters, 47.24 inches. Joe Taylor, director of the Mount Blanco Fossil Museum, was later commissioned to sculpt a replica of the femur. Based on its size, the individual would have stood approximately 14 feet tall. This discovery may represent one of the pre-flood giants, known as the Nephilim. In 2023, archaeologists in southern England uncovered a remarkable prehistoric hand axe, measuring nearly a foot in length from tip to base. Classified as one of the 3 largest hand axes ever found in Britain, this artifact belongs to a unique category of oversized stone tools whose exact purpose remains uncertain. The discovery was made by researchers from UCL Archaeology Southeast, who unearthed around 800 stone artifacts estimated, according to mainstream archaeological dating, to be over 300,000 years old. We'll get back to the giants after this. Mountain Warehouse US are offering 50% or more off site-wide in their summer kickoff sale. For those looking for quality outdoor clothing and equipment for everyday mountains, Mountain Warehouse is your choice for everything from outdoor clothing to pet accessories. Mountain Warehouse UK is also offering great savings with up to 60% off in their mid-season sale. Make sure to visit Mountain Warehouse for great deals any time of year. Use our exclusive code to get an additional $15 off from Mountain Warehouse US or Canada all year round. Follow the links in the description and support the channel. Back to the video. Giants in Native American lore. Native American tribes across the continent tell stories of a giant race, often described as red-haired, white-skinned, bearded, and cannibalistic. The Paiute tribe spoke of the Si-Te-Cah, a race of hostile red-haired giants driven into a cave and destroyed with fire. This cave was none other than the infamous Lovelock cave in Nevada. When the giants refused to come out, the Paiutes piled brush in the cave mouth and set it aflame, annihilating them. In 1911, guano miners excavating Lovelock Cave found enormous bones of individuals measuring 8 to 10 feet tall, sandals 15 inches long, and tools that dwarfed human use. But much of the evidence mysteriously disappeared. Tales of giants even extend to the southern part of the Americas, where Spanish explorers reportedly found themselves confronted by gigantic but friendly natives. These Patagonian giants stood 10 to 12 feet tall and were dubbed Patagones by the conquistadors for their large feet, which became the basis for the region's name. Modern tales. So are the giants of old now an extinct race, forever speculated over but never proved? We may have some modern tales to the contrary. The most compelling of these relates to the Giant of Kandahar. During the early days of the war in Afghanistan, a group of soldiers went missing in the remote mountains. Special forces were tasked with tracking them down, and they were airlifted to the last known location of the missing platoon. Surveying the area, they found broken equipment outside the mouth of a cave. As they moved forward, a red-haired giant wielding a spear, standing around 14 feet tall, rushed at them with incredible speed. The men opened fire, and after some effort managed to kill their attacker. A mysterious helicopter appeared, and they were ordered to bundle the foul-smelling being into a net, which was used to remove the giant from the scene. Several witnesses have testified to this story under anonymity, including a member of the elite team that encountered the giant. One former Special Forces operator also exclusively confirmed to us that Afghanistan indeed holds some monstrously sized individuals. When asked whether he knew anything about the Giant of Kandahar, the former Joint Task Force 2 member said he had heard of the incident. He went on to share an astonishing detail: that smaller giants are reportedly not uncommon in Afghanistan. During his deployments, he encountered local tribal leaders who stood nearly 8 feet tall, making them among the tallest known people in the world. Such individuals are exceedingly rare, yet these men appeared to be naturally large. Standing at an imposing 6 feet 6 inches himself, the veteran admitted he was nonetheless awed by the immense stature of these Afghan tribesmen. There is also the more recent story of Andrew Dawson. Dawson was a TikToker who posted videos of himself, his girlfriend, and his dog, often with a humorous take. Things changed, however, when in 2022, he filmed what appeared to be a giant standing on top of a mountain. Rather than stay in position like a stationary beacon, the figure can be seen to start to disappear over the ridge as Dawson films. Judging by the size of the mountain, this figure is truly gigantic. Soon after, he posted a video saying that someone he assumed to be CIA had stopped him from visiting the area where he saw the giant due to a supposed environmental issue. In another video, he can be seen running out of his house to confront a black vehicle that he says was the same one that he had encountered earlier. The vehicle immediately speeds off. One of only a few remaining videos on his account shows a couple of Chinook-style helicopters undertaking some sort of airlift out of the area. One of them can be seen to be removing a large oblong-shaped object. In another of the final videos, he appears to be under duress and is looking off to the side of the screen while he recants his previous testimony and says his videos had been faked. Soon after, he disappeared from TikTok without explanation. Were these just the videos of someone looking for attention, and when he didn't get it, he decided to quit social media altogether? Or had he been forced into silence by a government cover-up? We can also guess. Be sure to subscribe to the channel for more mysterious and controversial tales of forbidden history. Why cover it up? Why would the truth about giants be hidden? Some theories suggest it challenges the mainstream narrative of human evolution. Others believe it disrupts religious, scientific, or political agendas. Still others claim ancient knowledge tied to giants, megalithic construction, lost energy systems, has been deliberately suppressed. From the Vatican archives to hidden Smithsonian vaults, whispers of a cover-up continue to grow louder. Could the overriding reason be that the Bible explicitly describes belligerent giants, including key physical traits that have been confirmed by more contemporary accounts and evidence? Is it the fact that powerful people dwelling in the shadows don't want the general public to know about biblical accuracy? Conclusion. Whether real or metaphor, the stories of giants push us to question what we know and what we're allowed to know. Could it be that humanity's past holds truths too big to be accepted? View our playlist here to catch our videos while you still can. Leave a comment below to let us know your thoughts. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more canceled history. And let us know what topics you'd like to see covered next.